Assalamualaikum. Ladies and gentlemen, most of us use internet every day without actually understanding the mechanic behind it. Today's topic is about communication and network from Module 2 and Module 10 of your textbook. Before I go further on communication and network, let me introduce you to my friends Mikael and Nora Nabila. Mikael bin Musa is the owner of Bubble Marketing Agency. He is 37 years old and still single. His agency offers strategic marketing solutions for businesses. In order to be competitive in marketing services, Mikael knows computer network is going to become very useful. He desperately in need for advice from an expert, so he appointed Spider Network Sdn Berhad as consultant. A lady stand next to him is Nora Nabila binti Muhammad. She has a bachelor degree in information technology, 32 years old and still single. She works as a network consultant at Spider Network Sdn Berhad. Her area of expertise is providing services and advices for clients on designing, setting up, and maintaining network infrastructure. The first question that Mikael asked Nora is how his business can reap benefit from internet and how it works. Nora answers his question by saying nearly any business can benefit from internet. With internet, you can easily communicate with your existing suppliers and customers or even searching potential customers all around the globe. Internet can also be used to give employees access to the business network even when they are in their home. The internet is a network of networks that share each other. Internet service providers or internet access provider such as Telecom Malaysia, Unify, and Maxis could provide you various data plans for a fee based on speed, bandwidth, and services. Watch this video to understand more on how the internet really works.
What is the internet?
The internet is like a popular thing.
Some satellites up there.
I picture in my head with like waves of internet going to the phone.
Somebody told me a cloud once.
The internet is a lot like plumbing. It's always moving.
Most people don't have any idea where the internet came from. And it doesn't matter. They don't need to. It's sort of like asking who invented the ballpoint pen or the flush toilet or, the zipper. These are all things we just use every day, and we don't even think about the fact that one day somebody invented them. So the internet is just like that. Many, many years ago, in the early 1970s, my partner Bob Kahn and I began working on the design of what we now call the internet. It was a result of another experiment called the ARPANET, which stood for Advanced Research Projects Agency Network. It was a Defense Department research project. Paul Barron was trying to figure out how to build a communication system that might actually survive a nuclear attack. So he had this idea of breaking messages up into blocks and sending them as fast as possible in every possible direction through the mesh network. So we built what eventually became a nationwide experimental packet network, and it worked. Is anybody in charge of the internet?
The government controls it.
Elves, obviously elves.
the people who control the Wi-Fi, because then no Wi-Fi, no internet. T-Mobile, Xfinity,
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates, right?
The honest answer is, well, nobody, and maybe another answer is everybody. The real answer is that the internet is made up of an incredibly large number of independently operated networks. What's interesting about the system is that it's fully distributed. There's no central control that's deciding how packets are routed or where pieces of network are built or even who interconnects with whom. These are all business decisions that are made independently by the operators. They are all motivated to assure that there is end-to-end connectivity of every part of the network, because the utility of the net is that any device can communicate with any other device, just like you want to be able to make phone calls to any other telephone in the world. There's nothing like this that has ever been built before. The idea that what you know might be useful to somebody else or vice versa is a very powerful motivator for sharing information. By the way, that's how science gets done. People share information. So this is an opportunity for people to think up new applications, maybe program them as apps on a mobile phone, maybe become part of the continued growth of the infrastructure of the network to bring it to people who don't have access to it yet, or just make use of it on a day-to-day basis. You can't escape from contact with the internet, so why not get to know it and use it?
Then Nora explained to Mikhail that internet enables him to access www. Mikhail gave a funny name for www, and this makes Nora smile. Her smile attracts Mikhail even more. So Mikhail described further on World Wide Web. www or web consists of worldwide collection of electronic documents. Each electronic document on the web is called a web page. I can have my customers and suppliers access my web page by giving them my web address known as Uniform Resource Locator or URL. Then anyone can just search for my web using a web browser such as Firefox, Google Chrome, Opera, Microsoft Internet Explorer or Edge, or Apple Safari. As we all know, some web pages are static and others are dynamic. Suddenly, Nora interrupts. Nora gives another meaning for www. Surprisingly, she refers www as World Wide West. The impact of technology has significantly affected people behavior online. So she advised internet users to practice good netiquette to protect their reputation. Quickly, Mikhail asked Nora, "What is netiquette?" Netiquette refers to a combination of word of network and ethic. Netiquette consists of acceptable behavior for online social environment. Then Nora gives 6 basic rules of internet etiquette. Rule 1. Avoid flame war. Rule 2. Don't spread fake news. Rule 3. Respect other people's privacy. Rule 4. Don't do something illegal. Rule 5. Sharing also has its limits. Keep the content you share to meaningful ones. And Rule 6. Don't abuse your power using social media. Mikael agreed with what Nora said about the rules, but he has another important question. He needs to know whether or not website is important for his business. So Nora explained to him about it. Website is a collection of web page, consists of documents, photos, and related items that are then grouped and connect together. The website is written using programming language such as HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Website can be found using a search engine such as Bing, Google, and Yahoo. Mikael confused about the term of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So Nora briefly explained to him one by one. HTML is hypertext markup language. It is used to describe the structure or skeleton of the web page, such as the heading, the paragraph, and other content element. Another one is known as cascading style sheet or CSS. It is used for designing purpose and to make web appearance more realistic. JavaScript gives an extra interactive function that made a web page more interesting. This video explains how website can enhance the image and customer service of his business.
What is a website? Why do you need to know about it? How can you apply it to your business today? And where can you get some more information? So let's take a closer look on how you can benefit. So what is a website? A website is a collection of documents known as a web page that contains information in words, images, audios, and videos. Web pages are stored on a server, which is a computer designed to store websites online. The server is stored and maintained by hosting providers, usually in industrial locations around the world. Hosting your website on a server or a hosting provider ensures that your website is open to the public 24/7, and technical persons are always on standby should something go wrong. So why do you need to know about websites? According to the latest data of pingdom.com, internet users reached over 2.2 billion people. Needless to say, having a website to promote your business or ideas is imperative nowadays to reach a broad and expansive user base. Most households have access to the internet, sometimes even more than one computer. The great thing about the internet is you can reach the whole world and not just your neighborhood, opening up markets for you that may have never been possible before, both fast and inexpensively. How can you apply this to your business today? It might be an exaggeration to claim that you can't run a business without a website nowadays. That's because having your own website gives you a great deal of flexibility and increases your marketing options. You can increase your business's discoverability extremely fast with various traffic and social media strategies. You can make it so much easier for people to find you than ever before. The age of filing away business cards and consulting the yellow pages is well past. Today, people look online to find businesses and gather social proof than ever before. Sites like Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, with their tools, have simply become valuable in recent years. Your website doesn't just make you easy to find, you can also directly sell your products or services online. It's another point of contact, and it's one that's very lucrative when handled correctly. There is no doubt about it. A website can boost your business.
Now, Mikael feels more confident that website give him opportunity to reach as many customers as possible. He becomes more interested to know how it can be done, so he asks Nora again, how you create a website. Nora explained step by step of web publishing. First is to plan the website by identifying the purpose of the website. Second is to design the website by deciding the appearance, layout, and color. Third is to create the website by using specific tools such as word processing program, content management system, and website authoring software. Fourth is to host the website from your computer to a web server. And finally, maintain the website to ensure its contents are current and all links work properly. Nora asked Mikael how he wants his website look like. She gave him two options, either static or dynamic website. Mikael wants his visitor feel happy every time they visit his website. So he requests to have more interactive and dynamic websites where he can have creative control over its content whenever he wants. That is something that we can help you with, Nora said. We are able to create websites with special media effects, colorful infographic, images, shape, and thumbnails using JPEG or PNG format can make your website more interactive. Visitors can also listen to music or speech and watch your advertisement using virtual reality video too. Mikael wants to communicate online with his employees, suppliers, and customers. So he asked Nora, would you help me with this? Nora paused for a moment and showed to him a network diagram. This diagram describes the way modern communication takes place using specific devices. First is modem. When modem receives data from internet, it demodulates incoming analog signal into digital signal so that computer can understand it. And when modem transmits the data from the computer back to the internet, it modulates outgoing digital signal into an analog signal. Second is router. A router comes in after the modem. A router is what passes your internet connection to your computers. Third is Network Interface Card, or simply known as NIC. It is a computer expansion and it is used to connect a device that does not have built-in networking capability to access a network. Fourth is a hub. Hub is the most basic networking device that connects multiple computers or other network devices together. Fifth is a switch. In networking, a switch is a hardware device that filters and forwards data packets from one networking device to another. Switch or hub is often used in the same network that connects several devices in a network together. In order to allow business, facilitate communication, share hardware and software, we need to set up network for you, said Nora. Network for business are PAN, LAN, MAN, and WAN networks. Are all of them emails? Asked Mikhail. Nora laughed and then she explained it one by one. A personal area network or PAN provides interconnection between computer and related devices in an individual person's workspace. The simplest network design for businesses is local area network or LAN. LAN is a private computer network that connects computers, printers, and other equipment among several employees within the same building. Next is Metropolitan Area Network or MAN. MAN covers a larger area than that of a LAN and smaller area as compared to WAN. Metropolitan area networks are used to build networks with high data connection speeds for cities and towns. But if your business spans more than one city, more than one state, or even if it is spread across the globe, a wide area network or WAN is the ideal choice for you. As Nora continues, she explains further on wireless network. Many users opt for wireless transmission media because it is more convenient than installing cables. There are four types of wireless transmission media used in communication. One is infrared or IRDA. IRDA allow mouse, printer, and smartphone transfer data through infrared light wave. Two is broadcast radio, such as Wi-Fi, ultra-wideband or UWB, and Bluetooth. UWB and Bluetooth are alternative to infrared communication, while Wi-Fi technology is commonly used for hotspot. 3. Cellular radio is used for mobile communication to transmit voice and digital messages. Fifth generation or 5G is the latest version of cellular technology engineered to greatly increase the speed wireless networks. Fourth, microwave or fixed wireless. Microwave send high-speed signal from one microwave station to another. Microwave stations often sit on tops of buildings, towers, or mountains. And finally, satellite. Satellite is used for internet, GPS, teleconferencing, radio and television broadcasts. Satellite is placed in orbit round the Earth to transmit television, radio, and telephone signals. Transmission from satellite to an Earth-based station is known as downlink, while transmission from an Earth-based station to satellite is an uplink. Which network do you prefer? Wired or wireless? Nora asked Mikael. I'm not sure, Mikael said. Then he asked Nora about wired network. Nora provides brief comparison between wired and wireless network. Some businesses prefer a wireless network as most visitors and employees are more attached to their mobile devices. However, this could bring together problem of security for the entire network. Wired cable network still has its advantages, especially when your business handles confidential and personal information. Other advantages of wired network technology include enhanced speed, lack of interference, and the ability to connect systems across long distances. This video helps you to understand more on this.
Three main ways that you can get internet to your home are cable, DSL, and fiber. You need to know a few things about cable, DSL, and fiber internet. 1, the internet travels through wires. Because of Wi-Fi that converts our wired internet into wireless, we sometimes forget that the internet actually first has to travel through wires. 2, these are the same wires that were used for phone and television services. 3, the internet travels through electric or light waves. Let's help you decide which type of internet to use. Cable. Cable uses wires made of copper that are also still used for television lines. That's why you've heard of the term cable television. They connect the internet from an internet service provider, or ISP, to your house, sending signals through the wire via electrical wavelengths. The same thing goes for DSL. DSL also uses copper wires, and these wires connect to the internet from an ISP to your house, sending electric wavelengths down the wire to deliver the internet. While both cable and DSL use electric wavelengths to deliver internet service to your home, with cable, like TV, that uses this, you share bandwidth with your neighbors. So in peak times, internet speed might reduce. But with DSL, like with phones that use it, each home has its own line, just like how each home has its own unique telephone number. So it's not impacted by your neighbor's usage. So why not just use DSL all the time? Well, cable internet is not impacted by how far away you are from an internet service provider, but DSL is impacted by how far away you are from an internet service provider. Not to mention that cable generally has higher bandwidth, given that it needs this to send moving images that television requires. For the most part, but not always, cable will have larger megabits per second speeds than DSL. Okay, what about fiber? Fiber is relatively new and it sends internet to your home in an entirely different way through flexible glass wires called fiber optics. It uses light wavelengths, not electric wavelengths. And while the quality of the message through electric is compromised through long distances, with light, the message is not compromised, which is why fiber optics are wires that can be installed across the ocean floor. With fiber internet, we finally achieved gigabit per second transmission speeds, which is 1,000 times faster than cable and DSL. Why don't we all use fiber? Remember we said copper wires have already been installed years ago for television and telephones. Well, because fiber optics is pretty new, you have to invest a lot of money to install wires in the ground as a physical thing, then fiber is still very expensive as the internet option. But give it a few years. So there you go. This is how cable, DSL, and fiber works. Please give this video a thumbs up and comment down below what type of internet package you
Mikhail thinks that Nora's ideas sound promising. He cannot wait to see them in action, but he has another meeting in next few hours, so it is time for him to stop the discussion. Thank you for your attention. The end.